Today what we're going to do is we're going to discuss how to draw the samurai sword 3 different ways. This will not be the traditional style of sword drawing. This will be the extreme high performance way of drawing a sword. Relatively easy, medium, and pretty hard on the last one. It'll be something that you can really use in your forms to really wow your peers, your teachers, and something you can perform in a demonstration. It'd be a whole lot of fun. Don't get upset about the fact that this is not traditional style of sword drawing, so don't get your hakama in a bunch. Okay. Samurai sword drawing, take 1. So the draw that we're going to start with, I'm going to be quickly pulling the sword from the saya, the scabbard, this guy right here. We are going to be pulling it from there as quickly as possible and then holding on to the scabbard. The scabbard will be weightless for a moment, so when it's weightless, I will be catching it. To train this, what we're gonna do just to practice is I'm gonna hold the sword separate from the saya or the scabbard. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna practice tossing it up and catching it just so I get the idea of how to catch it. But while it's weightless, you have to have eyes on, and we're gonna work on a catch that's not necessarily a slap. I'm gonna catch always with it. If you notice, my hand goes down with it. I'm not just gonna reach out and smack it. If I reach out and smack it, it sometimes has a tendency to hit hard, and when it smacks, it pops out of the hand and then you won't catch it. So when we do it, we need to make sure we watch it, and as I spot it floating from down all the way up, eyes on, I'm gonna catch with it. So when I catch with it, I'm gonna drop with it so that way I can have what we call soft hands when we catch. So when I do this, what I'm gonna be doing when I draw the weapon is I'm gonna push it past the habaki, which is this little guy right in here that separates the tsuba from the blade. So I'm gonna push it past that point, that way the scabbard, the saya will be loose from the sword. So when I do this particular draw, I'm going to push the sword out. So when I push the sword forward, the scabbard will slide out of the sword, and the sword tapers this way. It'll become a little looser in this spot. So when it gets to that loose section, it will become easier to draw. So as I poke the sword forward, I'm going to be pulling it backwards at the same time. As I poke it forward, it'll get to that tapered section where it's looser. That's when I'm going to pull the sword. The scabbard will be weightless at that point. That's when I'm going to reach out and catch it. I want to have it up into the air. If I pull it low, my success rate of catching it is going to be lower because it's going to be closer to the ground. The higher I go, the more chance I have for gravity to let it fall, and I have more time to catch it. So I'm going to raise up, pull back, and then I catch. If I do it properly, the scabbard will come right towards me and I will catch it. Every once in a while, I'll pop it too hard and the scabbard will go flying forward. So make sure if you practice this, you do not do it near anything breakable or a human. That way you don't pop them with it on accident. So that is draw number 1. The second draw that we're going to do is a little bit more advanced. When I do this particular draw, I'm going to be doing what I was doing on the first one, which means I'm going to be pushing the sword outward. But when I push it outward, I'm going to just do it ever so slightly. When I push it out, I'm going to slightly pull it back. What I want is I want the scabbard to be just like a quarter of the way on the end of the sword. So that way, it kind of hangs up and down this way. When I do this particular draw, I want to go 3/4 of the way down the blade. So just a quarter of the blade is in the scabbard. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to flick it upward. When I flick it upward, it should make a series of rotations and you'll catch it comfortably in your hand. So you have to kind of find that right way to flick it. To start, you want to practice just a little poke and you want to hold it back. So as I do it, I don't just poke and leave it all the way out, because I run the risk of the scabbard falling all the way off the sword. So as I do it, I'm going to push forward while I pull back. Sometimes what will help, this is after you kind of get the idea of how to really do it. There's going to be a poke out, and as I toss it up, just to make sure that the weapon is going to clear the scabbard so I don't flick it up and look like an idiot and flip it up and nothing happens, I'm going to flick up, and as I flick up, I'm going to pull it out as I push down. So I'll be up, pop, down. So that is draw number 2. The third draw that we're going to do is the most challenging draw that I think I've ever done. Even I have trouble with it. I don't get to 10 out of 10 times. It's a really tricky draw. Basically what we're doing is we're going to pull it out just like the first draw. As we draw it out, we're going to catch the scabbard on the side of the blade. When we do this, I'm then going to pop it up and then I can catch it. Sometimes if I get it in the sweet spot, I pop it up and I catch it straight. Sometimes I'll hit on the end and it'll rotate, which is really cool. Here's how you practice that. We toss the scabbard up, we land on the sword, and we bring it right back into catching position. So I toss it up, land, pop it right back up. So as it tosses up, it barely touches the sword. And again, when I catch with it. Don't forget that, we catch with it. I grab it, I come down with it, and I pop it back up. Nice solid flick, so it floats perfectly up in the air. You want to try and get symmetry. Obviously, that's the goal. Sometimes it'll land sideways, which is a little trickier. So you just need, as soon as it touches the sword, pop it right back up again, almost like a tick-tock. So I come up, down, boom, and I come right back up again. Let's give it a shot. So I'm pushing up, boom, and I catch it again. I think the thing you need to practice the most when it comes to this draw is just the catching part of it. The best thing to do is have someone toss it to you. If you don't have anyone to train with, you're just by yourself, you can just toss it up. Probably try challenging yourself in the toss. Don't always toss it as straight as humanly possible. Maybe sometimes give it angle just to work on that. So I'm gonna be pushing it forward, pulling, catch, boom, and then we go. Sometimes we don't always catch it straight, but that's just a good way to practice to get a completely master that draw. Again, that is one of the more challenging draws, so practice it as much as you possibly can. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please let me know by commenting in the comment section below. Let me know if you need any help. If you have any other questions about doing these draws. I'm Justin Ichikawa from the TOS Karate Studio. If you like this, please subscribe to our channel. We put out videos every Monday, so please check out the rest of the videos. There's another one up here about advanced sword tricking, which you can learn a little bit more. Until next time, Tang Su.